welcome to the show today. It's Saturday morning. I'm back doing another live broadcast while these things last. The guy that's, I believe he's one who is trying to disrupt the black community and separate us from our African roots. He's back under that fake screen name, Play the Psychopath. The name should tell you enough right there. He's actually trolling my channel. I've already banned that same screen name once. And he's back again, trolling the channel. Play the Psychopath. Does that not tell you what he's about? So he's been blocked. Let's go ahead and just delete his comments. Watch how fast it takes. He spends all that time trying to troll, and look how fast I deleted him. Throne 2010. Man, remember when you told everyone to quit wearing the bonnet type hats? Funny how regular baseball caps are back in style. LOL. I told you guys. Those hats make you look like a goob, make you look stupid, and they're feminine. Just because the top rappers, homosexuals, wear them, doesn't make it cool. Okay? I mean, you got this brim that comes well like a bonnet. I've already warned you guys. Yeah, I warned you guys about that shit. Supreme, YouTube fuck with your audio and make your voice super deep around 20 minutes. 20-minute mark. That's okay. I don't care. YouTube's not fuck with something. Something probably happened in the transcoding the video or something. Under, yeah, raw game. So my voice got super deep, huh? Well, I do have a deep voice. Ace. I only stated my intention only once because she was a freak. We were making out and I told her how I was going to fuck her that night. But that was something that got her even more excited. Said like that, that's all right. Like I was talking to Jovina today, because she's lost, she's losing weight too, and her curves are coming back in nicely. The ass is looking all plump and shit. I'm walking behind her out of the restaurant and talking shit to her the whole way about I'm gonna fuck the shit out of her when she comes off her period, and how I need to put her ass on the streets. It's okay to say dirty shit like that to your females. So in a case by case thing, I already knew that kind of talk turned her on. Yeah, some girls, they like that. And if you know the chick and she likes dirty talk, knock yourself out. Ace, 16 question. No, get that consultation or join the forum and ask, or at least ask here on the video blog. Because I delete shit. As I said, I delete shit really rapidly out of there, as I just did this morning. But I do it when I first wake up, and I'm half asleep a lot of times. Still got, groggy eyeballs. They don't clear like they used to. KR. If this guy wants to state his sexual intentions at a coffee date, he might as well get a prostitute. Just let things go by the flow. That's what I do. After I start boning, I like sending nasty shit to him. Like, I'm going to take that pussy tonight. Let him think about it all day long. Send to him at work. I'm going to smell your pussy tonight. I'm going to sniff you tonight, baby. I'm like a dog in bed. I sniff. Night Shroud. I have a question about this. How to build your... That's my sales video. You want to ask about the product. You mentioned that either in this video or on your site for this program that you will teach guys how to mimic or replicate the same feelings that people who have been successful their entire lives. Yeah. The issue is about congruence. Congruence means if you didn't know things that are the same. Let me explain. If you are congruent with your thoughts and actions, the problem is you should take the course to find out instead of trying to second guess the stuff. It's only $7. Even you have $7, Night Shroud. Okay? Take the course and find out. See what I can show you. Alpha Male Network, a TV show. Can't wait. No, that was a promo. I just want to get up here in case I lost it and have it on this channel. The Your Swag Sucks. That was a promo for a TV show that my boy Craig was working on. Hey, can I add some of your videos to my channel, by the way? Yes, you can. Thanks. I include your website information, too, for guys who want to get your products. Thank you very much, Alpha Male Network. I like that type of thing where a fella comes in and asks. Let's see what he's about. Tahuti Mantra Random Talk. Donald Sterling versus, okay. Jehudi Ma'at Random Talk. Relationships. So you're an alpha, you're a brother. How the white man views black on black crime. Okay, I'll have to take a look at some of your videos. Bangura liked Raw Game. Thanks, Bangura. Fuck, I keep forgetting to contact you on Skype. Sorry, man. You had some questions for me. Keep on me, man. If you had or send me an email. I'll get a hold of you through my, my message form. Say, put in there Bangura, so I know it's you. Nathan Miller, you were very forceful with your message in those videos from your old channel. What is this anyway? Is this an old project? Yeah, it's an old project. Your Swag Sucks, Frank Rubin. How I Play That Shit was awesome. Whip those goobs into shape. Wow. Megoguic. Let's Go Player Supreme. That was awesome. Thanks. Can't wait. It's not going to come out. Jovina. Yes. Your phone's going off. That's your son. Tracy Supreme. I'm fucked right now. Huh? WIW. What happened, Tracy? Under Raw Game. Supreme, I'm fucked. As you know, Tracy's trying to mix and match. I warned you guys. Just pick one coach. Stick with him. If it doesn't work for you, then find another one. I'm not trying to beg for people to belong to my channel or buy my stuff. I don't ever beg you. If you find something that I have that's of value to you, get it. But you guys, most of you guys are broke. I know that. You're broke-ass college students or, broke-ass motherfuckers. I know that. That's why I make my shit affordable. Now, if you're someone that's living with mommy and not even trying to get a job, there's nothing I can do to help you. You got to first come up as a man first. Because a man's going to go out and take care of himself. The last thing a man's going to do is let someone else take care of him. Unless you're macking off a female. But even then, when I did it, I had my own business. So I still came as a man. Don Alfonso. I went out tonight and got another one-night stand. Fuck! Don is on fucking fire, fellas. You know this dude has a bad lisp, right? Really bad. But fuck! He goes, sex, LOL. Body count 8 so far and counting. I'll show you proof of game on my Facebook. Send it to me. Take some screenshots or whatever. I wish you were on my phone, man. That way you can just post it in there. It's private in there. Let us celebrate. As you guys know, Don, my first contact with Don was in the Facebook group and then on the Hangouts I was doing for the group. And I noticed his bad lisp. A brother with a bad lisp is getting fucking laid? Yeah. And again, why aren't you getting laid? You guys, I was talking to, I had a new consultation last night for my privates, and it was a young brother down in Southern Cal, and he was talking about his generation, how they've been feminized, and I was explaining to him, a lot of it's because you guys jack off. That's why when a girl's giving you choose and you're at a club, you've been jacking off. You don't have that driving werewolf of London just fucking need to burn your dick some pussy to get off. You don't kill that. So then it just becomes an intellectual thing. That's why you guys like debating, politicking about the pussy and how to do it and all that stuff. You're time wasters. Majority of you guys are time wasters. Period. Sorry, I don't want to put you down, but I got to call it as it is. I love it when people like Don Alfonso, who's serious about it, come in and make the changes. It gets out there and aggressively pursues. Jovine, your phone just went off again. Yeah, the group text? Okay. Carl Turner, the MGTOWs? Exclamation mark. That must have been, an old video. I'm doing a drive-by game show. One thing I hate to do is see blacks get all caught up in the whole MGTOW. God, I hate that. That is just the lowest for our race. We can't go any lower than this. We've already been feminized. We already have a ton of homosexuals in our community now. And the black community doesn't like homosexuality. White men were raping us in the ass back in slavery days. So we already had, think about it, the country where we came from. They didn't do that shit. So you get on that boat and a man rapes you in your ass. They didn't know what that shit is about. What's he doing? I'm not a woman. I'm a warrior. So they call it buck busting or butt busting, when we want to call it the truth. But we've been feminized. Our music, we don't control our music. And then we got fucking now MGTOWs. And as Professor Black Truth pointed out, MRA stuff, it did start with a lot of blacks because there was some real issues going on in the community. But it quickly got subverted to by the dominant society, just talking about how low the black community is. And, since you go to MGTOW, you see that red pill. Notice how he focused only on, black shit. He lured people in with talk of women, because there's guys who are weak males, by the way. And there are a lot of black weak males on the planet. As I was talking about this young brother, black men don't even know how to fuck anymore. We used to be at the top of the list for fuckability, for fuckness, for fuckaliciousness. And that's gone. We used to be the fast runners of the planet. Look, we sag. Notice how the program they're running us works. Let's hobble these Negroes. Let's get them to wear their pants down so they can't run fast. So we see guys holding their pants up, running, getting caught, getting ran down by a fat white dude. And tackle, boom. When if he had his pants up, that brother would have been gone. Leaping fences in a single bound. I don't want to talk about the black community and rant on it. I'm frustrated sometimes. So when these guys come in talking this, we're not from Africa. That blows my fucking mind. That makes me want to just run from the internet screaming and never have any contact again when I see that we've been dumbed down that far. Notice Goonie doesn't come back anymore unless that's him under the fake name. Pretending to, I hope he truly did, as he said, realize he had been fooled all these years. There are blacks that I guess they don't know about DNA. I don't know. I'm an intelligent black man. I don't know about dumbed down blacks. I don't talk to them. I try not to talk to them. I don't know about stupid people. And there are a lot of stupid blacks out there, unfortunately, because we've been miseducated. This is more than miseducation. And I don't want to just rant on my race, but I got something I want to get off my chest. So give me just another minute to talk about it. It's irritating. Especially when you're an intelligent black man. It's irritating as fuck to see how far down we've been dumbed down. As an awakened black male that sees the truth, that's seen the truth for a long, long time. Put yourself in my shoes. I see the truth behind the shit, like right away. When they started getting us to wear our clothes backwards, when you guys were kids, most of you guys were kids, or if you were even born then. By the way, if you weren't born then, they got us to dumb ourselves down so much, we put on our coats backwards. Ugh, like seals. Put on your coats backwards. They were not the young, okay? What kind of stupidity is that? Put your pants on backwards. Put your shirts on backwards. Think about how stupid that is. We did it. Almost our entire fucking lowlife race did it. Except the intelligent ones. That's one way to separate who's stupid and who's not. Look at the saggers. Saggers didn't know that's a homosexual act. And they still do it though. I don't know if it's because they didn't get the memo or they just still want to continue the style. I see them every fucking day. Although it is starting to go away now. Eventually, these Negroes will get the fucking message that you've been pimped. I'm tired of the pimping of the black race. Let me move on before I start ranting. Handsome Prince of Hollywood. Player, you right on that I'm into my dressing matching with colors and it gets along with my skin. I love suits and tuxedos. How do you wear a tuxedo unless you're going to like a wedding? I wouldn't wear a tuxedo anywhere else. That's just pretentious. It's expensive to even rent one, expensive to buy one. But suits, hell yeah. If you want to wear suits, rock them. There, brother. Night Shroud, your voice distorts a whole bunch in this video. Sorry about that. Don't know what happened. I'm going to make sure there's nothing running. Oh, I've got something running in the bedroom. Jovina, go into the bedroom and close my laptop. I got a torrent going on in the bedroom for audiobooks. Michael, hoe chasing with the eyeball doesn't work. Looking at the women's eyes to get a reaction is hoe chasing with the eyeball supreme. The only way you get eye contact is when you spot them looking in your eyes. That's the best way. There are brothers that were successful at doing the forced eye contact, myself included. You know, she didn't notice you, but you're looking over there. She spots you looking and she smiles. It's just she hadn't noticed you yet. So you kind of push her into noticing you, so to speak. On the whole agenda for this community, no, don't bother. Okay, takes strong swag to get someone to notice you because you gotta have energy. If you're just some dweeb who's hung up in his head, I'm only 5'5", with all these issues that you're dragging around, all these limiting beliefs you're dragging around, it ain't gonna work for you. She's gonna see you. She ain't probably not even notice you, except call you a creep that's staring at her. You got a certain coolty that you got to build. That's why I put out my $7 product. By the way, it goes up to $37 after the grace period's over. Michael, I never got that summer palette. Jovina looked for your email. She can't find it. Okay? Go to your PayPal. Well, go to howtodressformen.com. There should be a contact on there. If not, I'll put one on there today. Howtodressformen.com. Hit the fucking contact. Jovina. Deafness. Just heard that. Is there a contact form on your website for people to contact you? Did I put one on there?
They contact me through my email.
Well, that's after they buy the product. Go to your site right now, the front of your site, and see if there's a tab for contact me. And let me know. Because I'll just go in there, put in the plugin so that they can actually send you a message. Almond Raw Supreme, I can't buy your product because some BS with PayPal. See, people who fuck up PayPal. No, I don't do manual. I don't know how to do manual. What do you mean do it manually? How about you man up and straighten up the problem with PayPal? Did you cheat somebody? What did you do to PayPal? Figure it out and fix it, or get a new account. Create a new PayPal account with a new email address. Get a new bank account. All you need is just a bank account. Okay? But it's going to require some work. You want to come clean. If you fucked up, recreate yourself and start clean and fresh. That way you ain't got to do this.
About and privacy policies.
Okay, so leave that where it is. Don't give her the tab. I'll go in there and take care of it.
I'll just minimize it for now.
Yeah, minimize it. Carl Turner, music is cool. I guess that was the music I was playing in the background. House music. Nathan. Oh, you jelly. What new product? The sales pages are, or the sales videos out. I'm gonna go back and do a better sales video. I sat down and just did it off the cuff. It sucks that I actually have to sell you guys. You should know that if I come up with something that's of benefit, you should snap it up. That's what I believe in inside. It sucks that I have to actually do the internet thing. So I'll go back and do it proper, the internet thing. Let's see, I got to start by targeting the audience, then address the pain or desire, tell the story. I'm switching more to using, I'm not going to use YouTube as much. I'm going to use whoever's on my mailing list. Now, one guy named Neo something other at Yahoo. He was at Yahoo. I sent out, a little message. Why am I getting his email? He was subscribed to my 7 steps. Dumbass. Why am I getting his email? If you don't want to be on my list, unsubscribe. Okay? Don't complain about it. Just unsubscribe. I have never went and complained to someone about their, why am I getting his email? And I get spammers. I get the spam shit. I have never once did a bitch ass thing of whine about the shit. I just go down and unsubscribe. If they don't provide one, I always provide an unsubscribe because I use I'm not actually moving over to Chimp Mail, but I'm with the top, AWeber. And they are fanatics. Fucking like Muslim fanatics about making sure you do shit the right way. Have that unsubscribe link in there and double opt-in shit. So if you're on my list, you opted in. Okay? Where am I getting an email, Neo? Come on. Stupid. When you buy 7 steps, you're in there because you bought the 7 steps. You've got with 7 steps, you get emails for it because that's how I was doing the program. Every 3 days, you got a new email. I hate whiners. I hate guys that become feminine and bitches. Bitch-made motherfuckers. Which there are a ton of bitch-made motherfuckers on the planet. That's why they're having trouble getting women. Women are already bitches. They don't want another bitch around them. Hey, it's a black guy. You're right about the games you said in another video. A couple of months ago, I bought a new monitor desk and everything for gaming. Now, I've deleted all my games from my desktop and putting up the monitor. I got away from focusing on building websites and my eBay selling business, buying useful items from China. Oh, that's cool. And reselling them in the US. My friend I know outside, that's a cool idea. My friend I know outside of the internet, who is a nerd, plays a lot of Elder Scrolls. I don't even know what that is. It has over 200 games on Stearn, Stearn. I don't know what that is either. He's got a weird vibe. Those kind of gamers, they do have a weird vibe. I may pitch him off to your videos. He really needs it. Night Trials. I never met him. Obvious. I think he's the same response to hates hates a black guy. But is he unattractive? That and his height will play big. Don't say height. Okay. Attractiveness, and height, they do play, but don't use it. Because there are plenty of unattractive short guys who didn't know that, so they get girlfriends. It's only you guys who come to the net who hear this shit. And I'm guilty of putting some of that out there. And then but I always tell you that there are plenty of guys who are short. You know, I do know that height does, girls say they want tall, dark, and handsome. And all that kind of shit. But what do they settle for? Or what are they with? Are they with Mr. Tall, Dark, Handsome? The guy's barely taller than they are a lot of times. I just saw a shorter brother at Denny's who went and got me an omelet. He had 2 cell phones. That's not a play right there. Or a pimp. And he's actually, I think he was living in that apartment where a lot of pimping is going on behind this Denny's off of Mack Road in Sacramento. A lot of whores come out of that apartment complex. And he was a young brother. He was sitting there at the counter. Man, I told him, I talked to him. I said, man, I wish I could eat those foods again. He was having grits. Those guys are black, you know what I'm talking about. French toast. He had eggs. He had sausages. And bacon. Yeah. It made me sad. Sometimes the weird vibe is because they don't have the it thing. How about just be normal? Some of these normal guys don't have that it thing either. But they have enough to attract a female and get a girlfriend. Remember, Night Shroud, you went to a larger town and you saw the truth for yourself now. So don't discount that. You need to be exposed. You really need to get away from your parents. Okay? I think you're codependent there. You really need to get away from your parents. You said you're going back to school. What happened to that? You got to get away from your parents, man, and get out there into the real world. And stop living off the internet. I'm giving you man advice as a father figure. You've got to get away from your parents' house, your home, and get out into the real world and see for yourself. Otherwise, you'll still have these limiting beliefs in you. You've got to get that first job also. You've got to get you a job, man. I don't care if it's washing dishes or even start your business mowing lawns. Take your lawnmower that you probably mow your parents' lawn with and go around and solicit to mow lawns and make money. There's no shame being, 28. I think you're 28 now or something like that. Late 20s. As long as you're making money. Go work at McDonald's. I know there's McDonald's in your town. Go work at Taco Bell. Yo quiero Taco Bell. Work there. Jovina, what does yo quiero mean?
What does what?
Yo quiero Taco Bell.
Eu quero, that means I want.
E quiero, I want. Means I want Taco Bell. Interesting, Spanish. That's very interesting.
Rocket science, by the way.
Huh?
I can figure out a lot of it, not all of it, but most of it. Really not rocket science.
Euro Mexicans. That's what I call them. Euro Mexicans. They have bad Spanish. I'm sorry, Mexican race, but you guys have bad Spanish. I got my eye on you. She loves to get tortillas. No, just teasing. It's a black guy. They're having a conversation. He's fat but has potential. Good. Turn him on to my channel. And they continue a conversation. They're still talking to each other. Let's go down here. Don Alfonso, hey Supreme, please explain what you mean by passionate sex. Please, I need more detailed explanation than just don't do the old in and out method. Please explain in more detail. Thanks. Wow. You ever seen movies, whether they're black or white, where they start doing this, they start kissing, they start having sex, and they're kissing a lot, and they're moving, they're both enjoying it, sharing, lots of, mouth to mouth stuff. I'm trying to give you an image that you can identify with. Okay. Now compare that to porn, because I know you've seen porn, where they got a group of dudes just tossing a bitch, slapping her, hitting her titty or whatever they do, fish hooking, ass to mouth shit. That shit was coming out when I was into it. That's the difference. Or a guy just on top of a girl fucking. Hands up here. No contact. You're up here on your hands like this, moving. Instead of down here, kissing, looking her in the eyes as your body's moving and you're talking to her. Baby, that's so goddamn good. Oh, come on, girl. That's it. Get it close. That's it. No. Stop. No. Hold on a second, baby. Hold on now. Instead of that. Damn, bitch. That's some good ass. Damn, bitch. That's the difference. Okay? When you make love, you put more of your heart into it. You're not, there are times in love making you go hard, but you also go slow and smooth. You talk to her. You're more emotional. Okay? Black Hat World is a good marketing forum too. I used to buy stuff for them in order to sell products online. Black Hat World. That's that Black Hat stuff, but yeah, okay. KR. I'm trying to remember this Public Enemy interview about blacks can't be racist and the meaning that I've already done that. I went to the dictionary.com and hold on. Okay, let's look at the word racist. That's the way an intelligent person does it. Instead of going by some kind of weird belief you have, that even some blacks have. A noun, a person who believes in racism. That's the first thing. So in order to be a racist, you got to believe in racism. And I'll give you the definition of racism in a minute. The doctrine that one's own racial group is superior, or that a particular racial group is inferior to others. When have blacks ever felt like truly superior? We're not in a position to be superior. We're not in a superior position. Adjective, or of or like racist or racism. Racist policies, racist attitudes. Origin of racist? Did they take it out? I think they took that weird shit out they put in there to make it so the blacks could be there. Or maybe it's under racism. Racism. By the way, when can blacks, we like to say that we're just, now that the whole DNA stuff's coming out, that we're all superior, but come on, let's be real. Let's be real. When do blacks say, white folks, you guys have known that, talk about how high your IQs are. You're the superior IQ dominant people on the planet, and you put blacks down. Blacks have been miseducated. We can't get a good education, but, and the way the IQ system is designed is you guys have a certain culture. It's designed around your fucking culture. What do we know about bratwurst coming out of the ghetto? You guys know, bratwurst is German. That's in your culture. Some shit, stupid shit like that. But let's look at racism. When they first did the IQ test, by the way, everybody scored equally. They redesigned it. In case you didn't know that. Noun. Here, they put it in here. Hatred or intolerance of another race or races. Okay, noun. And I'll get to that one in just a minute, because I'm going to show you proof. Noun. A belief or doctrine that inherent differences among the various human racial groups determines cultural or individual achievement. You Negroes can't accomplish anything. When have you guys ever accomplished anything? Look at Africa. Africa's a mess because of you guys. Actually, it's not. It's because of European colonization, but that's what, European descent folks like to believe. Usually involving the idea that one's own race is superior. Now, most white folks come here, you guys are decent people. You're not aware that this is what your race believes. Go out there and find out for yourself. Talk to white people. Get them in private. So what do you think of these Negroes, these darkies, these blacks? Ask them, and you'll be surprised what they really think. Then you'll see why your race is, why blacks can't be racist, and why your race is racist. As Jane Elliott said, if you're raised in America, graduate high school, you already been programmed to be a racist. The history books, they only show white achievements. Already you don't see any blacks. Subconsciously, you think blacks ain't no good. They're good for football, sports, that's about it. They talk this ghetto shit. They walk around holding the dicks. They want to fuck white women. You know what you guys, were led to believe. Even though the majority of blacks won't even date a white chick, by the way. Usually involved in either one's race is superior and has the right to dominate others. Your people believe that you have the right to dominate us. Look at slavery. The Catholic Church started it, by the way, made it okay. They outlawed contracts with the Moors that were the dominant black group in Europe. That's where Europeans got all of their sciences from, math, the first college, all that kind of shit. All that shit came out of the Moors, whether you were told that truth or not. The Moors were not Arabs; they were blacks. When Tariq there was a fellow named Tariq. When he conquered Spain and Portugal, he brought over 2,000 blacks with him and 207 Arabs. Later on, at around 1000 AD, the Arabs tried to take over. They're arguing about the land and shit because they renamed it Andalus. The Rock of Gibraltar, I'm told, is named after him because his name was Jibral, or one of them, he had an Arabic type of name because Islam spread to Northern Africa. Now they like to believe Northern Africa were white folks. Africa was black, period. That's where all life started at and migrated out of there. So, of course, North Africa was black, despite what you were taught or led to believe. Come on. You got a brain, use it. So let's continue this shit. The particular group is, let me start over, back it up a little bit. A belief or doctrine that inherent differences among the various human racial groups determine cultural or individual achievement, usually involving the idea that one's own race is superior and has the right to dominate others, or that a particular racial group is inferior to others. 2, a policy system of government. Can blacks stop you from going to a college? By the way, there are almost more whites at the black colleges than there are, by the way, on grants, black-sponsored grants, than there are black kids, by the way. White kids who couldn't get the white grants, they got the black grants. You guys didn't know that, did you? A policy, system of government, etc., based upon fostering such a doctrine. Next, discrimination. Can we discriminate? Who controls hiring of the jobs? Who controls where you can buy your property? And a lot of you white guys, you're too young to know this, but they prevented us from moving into certain neighborhoods, and they still do. It's against the federal law now. If they got to pass a federal law about shit, do you know that shit was bad? If they got to pass a law about hire so many blacks, you know that shit was bad. That shows the racism right there within your people. They got to pass a fucking law just for someone to get a fucking job? That's how bad it is, and still is, by the way. Third, now here's where they got sneaky. This was not in there when I did this in 2007 or 8. Hatred or intolerance of another race or races. Now, that's what they try to use to get black folks into the whole, you could be racist too. Every time Dylann Roof, what happened to the people who he harmed? What did they do? We forgive him. Recently, the white couple that ran over the young black kid. I don't know if you guys know about that. You guys probably don't because you live in your own world. You do your own thing. I get it, and I'm not going to hate on it for you. But there was a white couple that ran over a black kid. What did the mother say? I forgive him. Every time, this is what the young blacks are angry about. And I'm angry about too. I believe eye for an eye. Take one of ours, take one of yours, type of thing. Every time a cop, every time some racist, beady-eyed motherfucker kills a black, what do? Now, do your own research, prove me wrong. We forgive him. Does that sound like hatred? Now, there are a lot of blacks that are angry about the shit that's going on. They're angry being at the bottom, and you would be too if you're at the bottom. But what's the first thing they do? They smile, skin, and grin. There are some blacks that hate white people. But we can count them against the amount of whites that hate blacks. We're only 14% of the population anyway, but you know, if a third of your population, if not half, don't like blacks, hate blacks, wow. What is it, 160 something million? 80 million hate? And there are what, 40 fucking million of us, something like that. And we got a small percentage that hates. I don't know what the percentage is. My parents' generation, no. We feared you. The hatred is something new in the young ones because we were programmed to be afraid of you. Afraid you'll come into our homes and kill us at night. And your race has done that very often and still continues to do that. Now you use your race soldiers, the police, because as according to 2006 FBI findings, racists have invaded law enforcement. So let's say a third of the people on law enforcement are racist. Can you now see why people are saying Black Lives Matter, stop killing us, please? If a third of them are racist, what do you think a racist is going to do? Sit there and hate blacks? Especially when they come home from war. The worst thing they can do is hire an ex-vet who's a racist. And most black white males, and you guys included, most of you guys, you know, there's some decent ones like you Jelly and Michael. I haven't had one hint of racism in Michael Nolan and a few others. But most of you guys are in the middle. You know, you're learning from me because I have the information you need. But if it came to, you know, let me sleep in your house, you'd have to say no. Let me date your sister? You definitely say no. Come on, let's be real. I understand it. I don't hate on it. I get it. I'm not gonna hate on you guys for that shit. Hold on. Let me put my power cord in so I don't lose this. There we go. So now you can see why, by the definition, blacks can't be racist. If you got a brain, you can understand. Go look at dictionary.com yourself. Figure it out. Play psychopath. Here he goes again. That's just insane. By the way, Armin and Goonie haven't said a damn thing about it. I think they both woke up to the truth. All it took was a little bit of common sense to realize that's a COINTELPRO motherfucker right there. That's all it took. This dude, who is this dude? Look at what he uses as a photo in the background. That should tell you a lot right there. Now they're going to troll my channel because I came out against them. Hopefully, blacks will wake up to the truth. That is the dumbest shit. The dumbest shit. I've seen a lot of dumb shit. White folks must be laughing their asses off at us. And it's no wonder they don't think much of us because of dumb shit like this. And then the blacks that believe it. Sorry, Amon Ra, you were a goddamn fool to believe some shit like that. That just shows your intelligence right there. I got to call it as I see it. I lost a lot of respect for your brains on that one, man. You do realize that's just some racial insecurity nonsense going on. Like, what the fuck? Now what the fuck are they going to do to us? That's what I think. What the fuck? And this is coming from white people. Sorry to put it out there like that. White folks. Let me get rid of this in the chat box. Let's see. Block user. Okay. It looks like they're starting to troll even this. Smooth Free. What's up, Supreme? You should have came to the DMV and Baltimore area on your vacation. That's a long ways to drive, bro. For what? I don't need to drive out there to get treated like a slave by the shit that's going on, especially back there. I'm safer in Sacramento. Sacramento is pretty tame compared to what's going on. Jovian's brother was a drug dealer next door at one time, and he used to deal meth and make all kind of money. He doesn't do it anymore. He'll talk to you about it. I think he has done a video with me on it, but he got into selling weed and shit like that. And there was a guy that was a childhood friend that was a dealer also. Two dealers can't live together. He came in to live with her brother, and I think he's the one that caused it. But they were trying to catch him because he was riding his bike from his wife's house over here. And we came home. They had three knuckleheads sitting down the ground outside. Right, I park here, or Jovina parks here. We use the whole parking, the whole driveway. He parks on the street, so she parked right there, and my truck is always on the left side. And the two R's were on the ground, and someone else is on the ground sitting there. I can't recall who it was. There were three police. I asked what was going on, and there was a Latino cop, half Latino. You can tell when they're half Latino. Cop outside, and he was cool. And there was also a black cop. There was a blonde-haired, short, about 5. He had a short man complex. Cops. I hate short cops because they got that fucking big-ass ego. Inside the house, I walked to the door as I was talking to the Latin cop. The guy, I don't remember what the fucker said to me, but I told the brown guy, I guess I know I'm black now. Racist. Little blonde-haired racist dude. That's not the worst. I got pulled over a long time ago. It took 3 cops. Every time they see a big motherfucker, it takes 3 of them. The Mac makeup chick, the one that was 17 years younger, who was following me. They gave me a ticket for something. And did they find anything? Like one time I got pulled over for, we bought a car that had tinted windows on the front and back. It wasn't even deep tint, but I got a ticket for that. I took it back to the dealer and they took the shit off the front. Anyway, that's what they care about. They want to see if you're black or not when you're driving cars. But it was my pimp car that I had too. I had that big ass hood, Chrysler LeBaron, the big one. Sarah's followed me. Anyway, she pulled over and asked, why does it take so many to hand one ticket? One of the cops. He called her a bitch because she was fucking a black dude and told her to get her ass back in the car. That's about as bad as it got for me. I worry about my sons because my sons, they drive really nice cars. And my son Tracy, he gets stopped all the fucking time. They try to find reasons. And he's beaten every fucking ticket. He gets stopped every time. One time, no front plate. That's where he bought the car. And he was waiting for the plate to come in. And he had everything, all there. They still pulled him over and harassed him. And he's not a fighter. So he's my baby. And I worry about my baby. He's such a happy-go-lucky guy. He's just the sweetest kid, And why would you want to kill that? He's just trying to do the right thing. Yeah, he fucked up. But he cleaned his act up, Thizzle, why do white people got to kill us like that? That's why I just asked myself, to where I'm afraid to drive the streets now. And luckily I drive a truck. They don't look at a truck because blacks don't drive trucks. So I can get away with it more. Thizzle, going out tonight and got a girl set up for Sunday to play with. Any club tips for tonight besides being on my A game? Well, that's it right there. When you first walk in, get my nightclub pimping book, okay? But first, when you first walk in, as I say in my book, as soon as you finish paying, there's always a place where you pay, and then you walk into the club. Stop and pretend, keep putting your wallet back in. It's like you're putting your wallet back in there. Do it slowly, and then straighten yourself out a little bit, primp a little bit. But you're scanning for girls that are noticing you because that's where the eyes are looking at the new guys coming in. If a girl makes eye contact with you, remember her. Because that's a girl you can go ask to dance. Okay? Walk to the bar. I don't believe in getting drunk, but if you like to drink, get your first drink. It's always cool to have a drink in your hands. And stick a gum in your mouth when you start talking to girls. Otherwise, you have liquor breath. And liquor breath stinks. In case you didn't know that, Thizzle. If you smoke, you definitely need gum. Because smoker breath stinks. Don't smell like shit. Okay? Basically. When you get your drink, as you're waiting for your drink, see if there's any chicks aside. Try to make a comment with the chick to the side, Anything. Just say anything. How's the music so far? That's all you got to say. So how's the music been so far? Try to talk in a, hey, how's the music been so far? No, try to change your voice. Make it a little bit deeper and softer. Women love a deep, soft voice. I call it speaking from your balls as I teach my private clients how to do that. Bringing out the balls, bringing it to the chest. Okay, so turn around, look for eye contact. When you're ready, walk over to one of the girls that are giving you eye contact and take her on the dance floor. You want more? Go get my book. I laid out the entire process of how to pull a female from the club. Nightclub pimping, it's in my store. Staying ready. What's up, player? Is there really such of caveman days? Do you mean, were there really caveman days? Yes, Europe had caveman days. They had an ice age where people found it more comfortable to live in a cave. I mean, think about it. It's below fucking zero out there. 90 below zero. Blowing wind. There's no plants to live on. Just animals to kill. So they lived in caves. The European is the original caveman. He's got 3 to 5% Neanderthal DNA, which were the first cave dwellers. In Africa, we lived on the plains. We lived in grottos. When life first started down the path towards mankind, we were monkey beings, if you want to. I believe in a supreme creator. I believe he set the motion. He seeded this planet with life so that it would grow along a certain path. I believe every now and then he put his hand in there and helped it along. So that fits the truth. I think life, as hard as it is, would be almost impossible to start on its own. Something had to start life. So it's okay to have a scientific viewpoint combined with more of a spiritual thing. It fits. I don't believe in a white man on a throne. That's coming out of European religion. There's a white man on a throne with a long flowing beard. He bought down a white. They want to believe that he bought down a white man to die on a cross for him, even though in that country there were no white people. Even the Italians weren't even white back then. It took the Visigoths sacking Rome for 3 fucking days to produce the new blue-eyed, blonde-haired Romans. But let's get on point. Jews, original Jews, had color before the European Jews took over. If you're a white Jew, you know the truth of your history. Shit. There's nothing to argue about. It's amazing. Every religion, European-looking folks dominate. There's a reason for that. Khalid, greetings Supreme. The latest video posted, "You Have No Swag," is amazing. Bravo, Supreme. That was actually a promo, as I said in the beginning of the show there, Khalid. Reality check. What's good, Supreme? What's up, reality? Didn't they jack off in the past generations too? I'm sure they did. But not like, think about it. There was no internet. There's no internet. If a man saw, at one point in history, if a man saw a woman's ankles, that would make him, want to nut up. Okay? There was no internet. Porn was hard to get. Videos and stuff like that. So what's the average guy to do? Instead of diddle himself, he went out and got pussy. That's how you came about. If you're trying to justify, whacking off, don't. Okay, don't. You guys way overdo that shit. Instead of maybe once a week, you guys are doing it several times a fucking day. If not at least once a day. There's some guys that do it a couple of times a week. And that's normal. Oh, God damn it. Now guys are going to run to that. See, I got to be careful what I say to you guys. You'll look for anything to justify yourself, to keep doing what you're doing. You know it's not the best thing for you. Still whacking off is not the best thing for you, fellas. It's better to actually get your dick in some real pussy and just be a fucking man. Not some boy still having to, wet his sheets, creaming himself. That's what a boy does. So don't be some grown-ass boys. Start becoming a man. Get your dick in some pussy. And yeah, I'm black. That's the way I say it. I'm not gonna be like a white dude. Yes, I think it's very beneficial if you actually get a girlfriend and start dating and have mutual consensual sex. I'm not gonna say that to you. I'll tell you as it is. Wait. Well, positively, I think it's best that you have a mutual consensual sexual gratification. No, tear that ass up. Satisfy that ass. Okay? Thizzle, what do you think about Vegas? Is the game harder out there? If you're a goob, the game will be hard for you. Run to Vegas ain't no sure sign that you can get laid. Okay? when you can conquer your own town, your own environment, no matter what it is. Like if I went to where Nitro lives, if I didn't have Jovine, I wouldn't where Nitro lives, I'd still be fucking. Don't think I won't. I'll be fuck. Even if I gotta fuck wives or other guys, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna be fucking. I'll find the single chicks though. See, I would go to coffee shops. I'll be posted up. I'll be walking down the street looking for eye contact. Every bitch gives me eye contact. I'm gonna see how deep that rabbit hole goes. In those small towns, I've noticed those girls are healthy too. Because I just was on vacation in these small towns. I saw some white females with sisters' asses. Thick as a motherfucker. Thicker than a Snicker. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, I'd blow up a small town. They find me, those white people hung my ass. I don't fuck so much white pussy. Fuck that shit. Just let me, I don't want to ruin my relationship, but just get, I'm going to send Greece. I'm going to ask Greece to go to goddamn Canada, because when he gets his dough come in. It just to show you motherfuckers. I guarantee you when Greece hits that fucking town, because I bet you he'll find the bitches that want to get laid. And that's a Night Shroud's, what, 3,000 something town. Hell, make it 100 chicks, people in the town. Don't think there ain't some bitches that ain't horny. I once watched a video, porn video. It was these two white dudes were tossing this married chick that lived in a small town, and she lived in a fucking trailer. And they were doing the white guy thing. White guys, you guys, when you talk about the bitch. You don't talk to her, you talk about her. I ain't never had so much anal sex. They were like country hicks. I never had so much anal sex in my life. And the bitch is right there sitting on your dick with digger ass. You know, and they talk to each other. They don't talk. You guys don't respect the women enough to talk to her in your culture. Two hicks tossing a bitch in a small fucking town. Because people still want sex. As long as there are females around, they want to get dick down. Apex, what's up, player? I remember a while back you mentioned a book on training that helped you become a great trainer. Do you remember the name of that book? It's by Bill Pearl. Go to Amazon.com, look for Bill Pearl's book. I think it's called Encyclopedia of Bodybuilding, or was that on it? Big book, okay? It showed me all these different, I've studied that book, all different variations of how to train the body. I believe I got it in my garage. I had lost my copy, but my boy Neil gave me his copy. Hold on, I'll be back. I'll see what's in my office. This is not it, but this is another one that's a good book. It's on high intensity training. That's actually how I started training, was learning high intensity and super high intensity. Fred Hatfield is a good author. If you want, I learned about the scientific way to make muscles grow first when I first started the training. But to become, a trainer where you can always change the exercises, that's a great book to have. All you gotta do is, put together your program. Okay, I'm gonna train my clients' legs, and look for, each week, look for something different to do for the legs. Then for the chest, the back, all different body parts. Just open the book. Okay, go to shoulders. Okay, we'll try this today. Always keep it different and fresh. And there's like 1,000 different ways to do shoulders, you know, and 1,000 different ways to do biceps, even with just a pair of dumbbells or a bar, all this kind of shit. Old school though, that's where the real shit, the real game is. You know, as I was talking to my new client last night about that, you know, old school game. You can't fix old school game. There's no corrupting that. There's no changing it. Old school game is what works in everything that you do. The only thing where it may not be good is internet stuff. It's not. I don't mean as far as. I mean as far as like creating websites, you know. But old school game and just about everything that you do is good game. This is what works. Alpha Male Network. I can use some of your videos, player. I'll include your website. Yeah, I've already gave you a yes on that. Thizzle. Get them while they're here. I'm not going to be doing these shows much longer. I'm not a weed smoker, but I have some friends that are successful and some that are deadbeats. Why are you so hard on the smokers, though? You got to ask me that? I'm assuming that you're black. So I'm going to talk to you like I would another black man. And ask you the question, why the fuck has it got to be us? Why us? Why my race? Why? Now I want you to meditate on that for a day. Think about it today. Why did it have to happen to us? Why do we got to be the ones, be the dominant weed smokers, even though, you know, there are more whites that smoke weed than we do? Because there's more of them. Now, secondly, the weed bonds with this thing that we have that's called melanin, the chemicals they put in the weed. It bonds with our melanin. It's designed to keep us in a dumbed down state. Don't think that because these motherfuckers are able to get a good job, keep a job where they smoke weed at home, they don't do the job. Those are people that can handle the shit properly. But the majority of our race can't. Look how many of the lowlifes smoke weed every fucking day. Think of the black lowlifes. Every time you go to the grocery store, you see them. Tats all over them and shit. Not speaking out against tats, but the majority of lowlifes, you know, they do the tatting. I can only shake my head at the question, brother. If there's one thing I would change, because you do know that weed dulls your brain, right? You are aware of that, correct? Or have you ever thought about what are the effects of weed on the brain? It's a drug, like alcohol. Like they ship malt liquor into the community. They want blacks drinking malt liquor. They came out with the bull. That was aimed at black folks. Those white people don't drink slits like we do. Malt liquor. Notice, you're probably not aware of this, but the commercials are all with black dudes in them. Make you feel manly. Drink the bull. To destroy this. I mean, slits taste like bull piss. Never tasted bull piss, but I imagine something along with that, some chemicals. So if weed dulls the brain, you ever talk to a black dude? You have talked to black dudes, the losers. You know how stupid they are? Imagine them trying to learn how to build a website with the brains they have left. Imagine yourself trying to teach them how to build a website with the brains they have left. Now, a high school friend of mine, when I was in high school, there was a guy that was, by the way, he's 5'5" or 5'4". When I was a kid, he was a regular player. He drove a 340 Challenger. He got pussy. He even had the fucking old white woman that wanted to fuck him, that we worked at the hobby sales store. I'm in high school. He was in high school. Little guy. And I was a big strapping young kid. All the women loved him. William Edwards. He smoked weed. I was smart enough not to get into it. But I admired his ability to, talk to women. He had a hot girl that lived in Oak Park, was the black area. He had girls after girls. And he talked to me about, how he fucked this one and he fingered her clit and stuff like that. He knew about the clit. Which the young brother that I talked to last night didn't know the power of the clit. And he's black. And I explained to him, your generation's lost it. You don't have it anymore like we did in the old generation. As I've said before, young blacks can't fuck anymore. But anyway, I ran into him about 5 years ago, I think it was. He contacted me through something. And he'd have his wife take the lessons. He didn't have enough brains to actually be able to understand what I was talking about. Just putting up a fucking WordPress site. His wife had to do it. Small Mr. Negative smokes weed. And he has to drive a truck for a living. He can't learn anything with his brain anymore. Okay? Those are people that have been doing it for a long time. Talk to the people that have been doing it for a long fucking time. Look how dumbed down their brains are. White folks know when to back off. Do blacks? No. We just smoke more weed. And I used to wonder, how high do you got to get? The fellow that was the ex-Black Panther lived above me. He had medical script for his. And he's actually intelligent. He's the only one that I know that can smoke it. And he smoked it every fucking day. But he kept his brains. He's the only one that I've seen that was smart enough to keep his brains. Some of his brains. Geo, how long were you addicted to porn? I started my early adult. It went on to my early 40s. 20 plus years. Way longer than you guys. I was actually, at one point, I was going buying a new porn video every fucking week in my 30s. That one chick, the Greek chick that I turned out with anal sex, got her addicted to it. I showed her porn. There was some kind of porn where they had these fake, big, gigantic dicks and a fake pussy on them or some shit like that. Or they had a woman that had like both body parts. I saw that in one of the videos I had, and she loved that shit. Michael, just spotted your channel online. How can you fuck up PayPal? I don't get that. Yeah. Unfortunately, a lot of blacks did some bad things and they fucked up PayPal. That's why they can't get on. You did something wrong. All you gotta do is just go save your money, go get a new bank account. And what does it take? $50, open an account, put your money in there, just for PayPal. Leave your $50 in there. I'm not gonna deal with other men's problems they created and fix it for them. Fix your own problems. Come as a man, not as a boy. I'm not gonna encourage your boydom to stay as boys. Ratchet. I just got in, but do you think it's practical in some ways? Laugh off women who argue with you. I don't deal with those kind of women. I don't know why you don't. Well, your name is Ratchet, but is that something going on with you? That you got to deal with ratchet type women? Especially sisters? Did you know there are sisters? Like the brother I just started coaching, his sister was raised a Catholic. His woman was raised a Catholic. And power to you if you're watching right now. He ain't got no problems. She's a good girl. I wouldn't deal with a ratchet ass bitch. You gotta bait me into an argument? Are you fucking kidding? Who lives like that? Ratchet? Why? My question to you is why? Hi Supreme, can you please explain the concept behind shitting on a bitch? That's basically talking shit to her. in different levels. If you got to come down hard, you come down hard. But just general banter shit, like I do with Jovina, I joke around, I'm watching her ass walk out, she's doing the little walk thing. And I'm talking about her ass as it moves, talking about I'm gonna pimp you out, shit like that, that's just shit talking. I was complimenting her ass. Let's put the ass to good use, baby. Get my pimp. But when a bitch acts up, then you got to shit on. That's basically bringing a little bit of hell with your mouthpiece. Panini. We just 3 soccer games in now. I don't do sports. Sorry, bro. But enjoy it. Riley laughs at fish hooking. I laugh. That's the weirdest. It makes me lose respect for my Caucasians out there. I don't understand why you guys got to be so brutal and lack. I do understand. That's not true. I know it came out of the caveman. When something becomes a habit, it becomes an energy. And that energy is passed down from father to son. You see the way your father treats your mother, and it goes down and down and down. Now, the new generation, though, is different. It's being bred out of you to be that cruel, but not all. And in porn, in your sexual fetishes and fantasies, that's where the dark side comes out. The guys in porn are the creepiest motherfuckers on the planet anyway. So they're the guys that, are seedy looking. These are guys you wouldn't have at your family's kitchen table for Sunday night dinner. So, of course, they're going to enact out the bullshit that's in their head. But I've ran into people and dealing with people on my forum that have done that type of stuff. And I realize it's in the energy of your culture. But maybe I'm a pussy. I don't want to slap a girl. I don't want to slap her tits and pinch her nipples hard. And I don't want to give pain. I don't like pain. I had a black mother. That's enough pain right there. Those extension cording beatings. You guys know what extension cord feels like? Take an electrical extension cord, fold it up, and then go whack as hard as you can. Now imagine that on your ass. Your skin slithers off. So maybe that's why. I don't know. I don't need to do false domination like that. Bitches submit anyway. So, and I'm hoping none of you guys are into that. Michael, I worry about you. Especially that time you were drunk and that shit about the date drape rug usage came out. I worry about you, Michael Nolan. I pray that's not you. I noticed that the colder the climate that people live in, the more unromantic the culture and the sexual stuff is. Like imagine, cold climate like Russia. Privyat! Bend over. That's it. I've never seen Russian porn. Someone tell me what it's about. But you notice how the warmer the climate, the more European-wise, isn't true for Africa, the more romantic. It's getting a little bit warmer in France. Spain is warmer down there. Italy, warm. The warmer climates, they tend to be more romantic. The Latin language is more of a romance language. They call them romance languages for a reason. And I'm kind of curious. What does Spanish porn look like? I'll have to go look and see. Things that make you go, Michael, oh yeah, I was wearing, go ahead, Mike. Did you even go to high school? Did you go to school? You had like a first grade education, didn't you? I was wearing my blue shirt the other night. You got that spelling right. And my black jeans, good. And okay shoes. Women look at a man's shoes, man. Know that to be the truth. I seen chick look in my eyeball and gave me a slight smile to us, though I was getting into taxi and rush. You could have stopped and beckoned her to you. Always think like a player, Mike. You see it? React. Don't write about it later on. Because if you don't react, I got to suffer reading the shit because you're going to feel bad. So prevent yourself from feeling bad. Prevent us from feeling bad, too. You pass on that bad feeling to the rest of us. Start reacting. Bell Jacobs, off subject, but you are the man, no homo. Thank you, Bell Jacobs. You're not off subject. Michael Nolan. And I mean no offense to Caucasian folks. I just give the brutal truth. It sounds like I'm hating on the race, but I'm not. Okay? I hate using, well, my grandfather was white. He wasn't. He was white and Native American, but whatever. It wasn't the way I was raised. I think if my dad had been pure black, I would be different, though. Two dark-skinned people, that's a lot of anger and hatred. Michael. I'm starting off better with people in general now, though I have to kill my shyness. Good. Panini, Michael's talking to Michael. Michael's talking. Panini's talking. Ratchet. Now, the page I'm on now is a parody page. Didn't know that. Michael says, IVBEADSPELLINGLOL. He wanted to say bad, but it came out bead. I've bad spelling. Grammatically, you want to say, I have bad spelling, or I have trouble spelling, or I can't spell sorry. I'm sorry. The date rape drug is used to rob people. Date rape drugs used for a lot of reasons. Mainly to commit rape, too. I guess they have done the robbing, but when that shit first came out, white guys were I've never heard of a black dude doing it, but all the cases I've seen were white guys. The number one rapists are white males. Again, that's coming off the FBI stats, of which I can back it up right now, as I keep it up as a bookmark. Rape. 66.2% of the rapes are committed by white males. 31% by black or African Americans. So, can you see a brother trying to scientifically figure out some shit like date rape drug? Become an instant chemist? How many blacks are chemists? That should give it to you right there. So, the date rape drug was, started in the white community. And it was weak motherfuckers just trying to, a way of getting some quick ass. I don't remember where I saw it at, but they had a videotape of a guy that, I don't know if it was a case study or something, but a guy that slipped something. She had a friend watch her drink. The friend looked away and he slipped something in the drink. We've all seen that. That's how they do it. Girls wake up. Why am I here? Oh, damn, my ass hurts. Now, Michael has the belief that women use it as well. That's what they'll tell you. If they put you unconscious, your dick can't get hard. That's a fallacy. If you're under a date rape drug, you're unconscious. How's your dick gonna get up? It'll be a sloppy thing. They can't ride a half hard-on thing. Michael. What's propanol? I don't know. I don't follow drugs. Eric, were you playing house music earlier? No. I haven't played any music today. Eric, why? Welcome to Pesh Supreme. Why are women so much more mature? Nature designed them that way. Women can get pregnant at the age of 12. They become mothers. They need that maturity. It's a biological thing. You should have learned that in biology class. Are they still teaching biology in at least high school, fellas? Someone let me know. Have superior game and successful in everything. Career, studies, and life. Because they're not hampered by the constant need to get laid. Especially today when they can whack off. It's amazing how guys, we whack off, we become addicts at it. Women don't become addicts. They use it when they need it. They don't become, on the whole, there are some women that are nymphomaniacs, they got to whack off all the time. I was with one. She'd go to the bathroom and rub her legs together on the toilet. That's all it took. It was rub her thighs together. And she had one after another. She's the one I videotaped having about 27 nuts when I first started hanging out with my boy Craig. I showed her the video. She can't believe how she was, how much noise she was making. Anyway, I didn't tell her though what I was videotaping. I didn't know about the laws and stuff like that back then. It was like a joke. Everywhere I go, my age women are way more successful. Depeche, you're East Indian. Look at what your culture puts out, the chakra system. If you're stuck at your second level chakra, which is solving your sexual issues, what makes you think you're going to rise any higher in your career? Easily. All you do is make it much harder yourself. Women get their shit handled. They know they can get dick anytime they want it. Normally, they always have some dick in them. So they're okay. It's you guys who are struggling to get pussy that are having trouble with your shit. It would be a lot easier if you solved that issue. Like the guys that getting their dick sucked by their females or whatever, they feel like kings. Have you ever noticed that? They come back, I feel like a king, Supreme. They're happy. They go on and take care of the rest of their shit. Does that make logical sense? Supreme, once I fuck enough women, will sex be nothing to me? I want to get to that point. Yes, it will. Jovina. Agua, por favor. I'm not hungry. Little omelet. The omelet's kind of small today, too. It filled me up. Yeah, I'm starting to get a little lightheaded, though. I get low blood sugar a lot. I'm starting to get a cold. So I figured I'm starting to get that winter cold that's coming on early. I threw up a ton of mucus. In fact, I can't even fucking wash. I threw it in the sink for some reason, but couldn't make it to the toilet. Out of my belly yesterday. So it's already getting nasal drip in the back. Eric, of self-control so I can't be dependent on a woman basically like a gold digger. Well, don't run into a gold digger, first of all. Go find yourself a nice little church girl, man, that you can spread your knowledge to, then become her personal Jesus. That's where you're going to find some good results. With a little church girl, you're your own age. Sorry, I'm getting worse. You're dreaming, Eric. Eric says, I will have the ultimate power so I can game even a professional hoe. You focus on just getting you a girlfriend, okay? Some people are made to be players. Some people may struggle at it. You're going to be a struggler. Otherwise, you already have pussy right now. In fact, only about 1%, 2% of the people that are watching me will ever become a player. Most guys want to get a girlfriend, right? The majority of you have no interest in playing a bunch of women because of your moral programming and stuff like that. Dime Star, Conquer Your City, I like that. Thank you. Speed dating is good spot, Michael says. I like the concept of speed dating, by the way. It's a good test of your game. And it's also, it'll test you, let you know if you're a good conversationalist, if you could spark an interest in a female, when you step into the whole system. Just good all over. I don't want a girlfriend just to start over. You need a girlfriend, period. A lot of guys who are afraid of relationships that I work with, that come to my forum and shit, it's because they're afraid of relationships. And to become a good player, you got to have that first relationship, period. Call it what you want. Try to use the pimp name, a starter hoe, but she's really going to be your girlfriend. A lot of you guys who have never had a girlfriend, you're dreamers like Eric. He dreams. He dreams big dreams. That's good, but let's keep it down to reality and focus on that first. One step at a time. Michael, speed dating is good for hoe chasers as they have to approach. No, you don't have to approach. They set it up for you. Yes, he is a virgin. KR is asking if Eric is a virgin. Can't you tell by the way he's dreaming? Those virgin dreams. I remember those when I was in high school. While your mom was gone, get you a... Nope, you're still in high school. Never mind. Depeche. After a heartbreak, I've made more life changes than I've made in the past. That's what it took. To shake you up. That's what it took to turn me into a player. I tried to do that nice guy thing. I believe that women wouldn't lie to you and shit. That's how stupid I was. I tried that shit. A bitch made me the player that I am. Little Susie. Half Irish, Michael Nolan, and half Portuguese. Really cute face. Bubbly smile. Young. Pussy. She was 24 hours, 28, 27, 28. She looked like she was 18. No ass. Little bubble butt, or tiny little butt. No boobs. Thick legs. But cute. Put on a short dress, them thighs would have got you if you're a black dude. Because we like big thighs. Bitch fucking blew my heart out. I sleep with her the first time and I was in love. Next night, she slept with her ex-boyfriend. And then later on, I found out that she actually was fucking this other black dude with the King Kong dick. He actually tried to get into teaching aerobics. He was a mailman. And yeah, that motherfucker came across my life again. The Greek girl, started fucking with him and his girlfriend, filming the shit. Doing all kind of weird penetration shit. I broke her. I bought the Greek out of her. It's amazing how people cross your path when you fuck a lot. Or people have heard of you. I told the story that I was practicing. There was a coach named Alan. Alan was a good dating coach. That's his last name. I don't remember his first name. But he had an idea of like go up to a girl with a piece of paper that says, "I'm gonna give you a unique compliment on my answer machine." This is back when you had answer machines, and I tried that. I've told this story before, but there were new people watching. At the movies, when I was out with my boy Craig at the movie theater, I saw this. I thought she was a grown ass woman because she had the wide hips, the little waist. She was tall, the hair, white chick, of course, beautiful. So I went up and gave her the note. I went to the movie. She must have sped through her goddamn movie because when I got home, there was a whole bunch of hang-ups. And then her aunt was on the phone who fucking knew me. Said, "Chris, you may not remember me." I taught a lot of people in aerobics. But she's actually underage. You can proceed if you want to, but she's actually underage. And it's only because she knew of me. I guess she had called the machine and heard my message. "This Chris Arnett, you reached my answer machine." I think I must have also put my name on there or something. I don't recall, but yeah. When you fuck a lot, also, she had heard what I was doing with women. She heard my reputation. You get known in a town. KR, nice guys definitely finish last. I learned that thing. Yeah, so did I. Eric, won't bother me with church or something like that. It went away. Depeche, Kevin, shut the fuck up. No talking shit to each other, brothers. Depeche, I come from a patriarchal family and am proud of being a man, not some weak ass Caucasian bullshit. No offense. That's a lie. You do mean offense. I truly don't mean offense. That's all. I've been trying to get a job, but no one hires me. I've been applying a lot and nothing's turning up. I'm sorry to hear that. I feel depressed about my future. Go to a big city, you'll get hired. Doesn't matter if you dress in goth. They hire people in the big cities. That's depressing, stay in a small town where there's no work. Unique compliment, Michael says, that sounds cheesy. I'm not sure what he's talking about. Might are both in town and nearby towns. I want you to go find a book called The Hidden Job Market. I read it back when I was, I think it was either 19 or 20. And the information in that book is still valid today. Most jobs, before they get advertised, they already know there's a problem inside the organization. So it takes a lot of footwork. Eric Nightshroud, what's your disability if you're comfortable sharing? Kevin, kill the bullshit with Depeche. You guys don't need to argue with each other. I don't know what happened, but stop the bullshit, okay? Because I got to read the shit. I'm not going to share it on this video either. Supreme, who has more power in the game, men or women? Overall, women. Don't count people like me. We're a rarity. But women. Even with people like me, they still have the power. We just take it from them. Or we have the ability to coax them out of the power position. If that makes sense. How do I put this? Well, first of all, even a submissive woman, she's giving access to her power because she responds to the masculinity of the man she's dealing with. So women will always rule and dominate in the game. That's the way it is. Because we want the pussy. They know we want the pussy. They can control who gets access to the pussy. KR, how lost my virginity back in the days was low and professional, truthfully. Yeah, I went to a professional also. I prefer to have a girlfriend instead. Yeah. I did the whole in high school. I don't want to graduate as a virgin. My friend was going to the military. I went to a professional. Twice, though. And as I told you guys who haven't heard the story in my past shows, I wouldn't wash my hand. Had the smell of pussy on it. I almost could smell it again. I guess that was something about that triggered the memory. Tepesh Supreme. Okay, never mind. Nitrile Basic. Well, basically, it affects me both mentally and physically. Mostly physically. Can't lift more than about 20 pounds naturally. Have low stamina. Fancy stuff like chopping vegetables is hard. Mentally, it's kind of like Asperger's, if you know what that is. You know, when I first saw you on the video, you were talking and you were going like this. I realized, okay, that he's got some form of autism there. And that is hard. It is hard. Down here in the States, you can actually get paid, you know, get disability. Because you'd be qualified for that. There ain't no shame in that. Derek Kelly, been watching you for the past 3 years. Love your videos. I actively feel like you are some of the reason why I got a girlfriend. Thank you there, Derek Kelly. Kelly is an Irish name. How do I know that stuff? Because I learn. I like learning things. What's the name? What's the name? Sounds familiar. Mitochondrial disorder. And I don't know anything about that. Okay. But I am going to look it up. Because that's what an intelligent person does. I've never heard of it before. What is mitochondrial disease? Mitochondrial disease results from failures of the mitochondria. I know what the mitochondria is. Specialized compartments present in every cell of the body. It has to do with energy production. But let's see what this says. Cell of the body except red blood cells. Mitochondria are responsible for creating more than, yeah, here it is, 90% of the energy the body needs. You can take CoQ10 though. CoQ10 is also involved in that. Energy needed by the body to sustain life and support growth. You need to come to the States and get your medicine also. Because I know they have medicine for that. When they fail, less and less energy is generated within the cell. Cell injury and even cell death follows. This process is repeated throughout the body. Whole systems begin to fail. Fuck. In the life of the person, I can envision that happening. Whom this is happening is severely compromised. The disease primarily affects children, but adult onset is becoming more and more common. Why is it becoming more and more common? What's going on in our environment that's creating this is what I would think. Is it coming from the foods we're eating? This GMO shit that we're now starting to absorb? By the way, China has been putting out these GMO watermelons. You guys had the watermelon don't taste like watermelon? That's more likely a GMO. The seeds are all twisted. What is that doing to the cells of your body? And then we have cancer on the rise. Cancer has been on the rise since the early 1900s as we start to eat more and more processed foods. That's why those old fuckers that smoke 10 packs a day live to be 100 years old, because they were raised on that kind of good old farm living. Diseases of the mitochondria appeared to cause the most damage to the cells of the brain. I never knew that. Heart, liver, skeletal muscles, kidney, and the endocrine and respiratory systems. I noticed that when I changed my diet, you guys remember my lung issues went away. On vacations, I started allowing the old food to creep back in. Notice I cough now. And I noticed when we started doing aerobics again that the pain was coming back. It went away again because I went back on my diet, but mitochondria. Interesting. I don't want to make a gross leap, but I think there is some correlation there. Sorry to hear that, Nitro. I never knew the full extent of what's wrong. you need to come to the States, man. You get better. They've got to have something up there in Canada that you can get an income coming in. We call it, it's part of the welfare system, but hey, man, you got to do what you got to do. That way you can get your own place. Let me know if you have any brothers or sisters and if any of them are affected. Night Shroud. I'm not hungry. What are you getting ready to fix? The usual? I can take those to dinner.
I was gonna make like a
Shrimp omelet.
roll things.
Well, I'm not hungry right now, so no sense force feed me, right?
No, it's
Guerrilla Tactics in the Workforce is a good book. I agree. I learned guerrilla tactics in business, guerrilla marketing by Slutsky. That's the author's last name. The downside of living in small towns is there's a lack of options and things to do. Also, you need a car really, really bad. Yeah. I was up in a town called Weed. We went to get some pizza. There was a white bitch in there with ass. And then this other tall white chick with great legs came in and a athletic ass. I'm thinking, damn, these small towns are a gold mine. I'm always thinking like player. So, I'm thinking, if I didn't have Jovine and I came up here. But then I saw all the brothers up there. They discovered the fucking gold mine. And they're up there, and I know those brothers were fucking.
shame on you.
What do you mean shame on me?
I'm telling you all that.
Huh?
You didn't tell me all that.
Of course I didn't tell you all that. But I'm gonna tell you some shit like that. Remember the bitch with the kids at the pizza place? They had the big ass and the wide hips. I know the shit like that. It's my inner nature, my dog nature.
Dogs.
Dog.
Dogs.
Arr-woo-woo-woo. Yeah, good luck to you, Night Shroud. Everyone's wishing you luck there, brother. Don't want you to get up on a sympathy tip, but good luck with that. Derek, I don't have kids yet, but how would you keep your kids away from the feminization of men? By teaching them the right way. Don't turn them into a homophobe. I can't believe I just fucking used that word. I don't believe in that word. But don't teach them hatred. Show them the truth. Son, beware the school system designed to feminize you. Okay? Let them know the truth, what's going on. So they are prepared for it. Okay? Teach them how to fool them also. To fool the teachers. They think that they're obedient, but let them still be the creative, free individuals that you want to teach them to be. Teach them to become free thinkers is my point. I am so thankful my boys didn't get feminized, because I'm not a feminized male. I didn't accept the program. They started with my generation, and it didn't stick with a lot of people. But when they started the political correctness shit back in the early 90s or 90s, a lot of my generation jumped on board. I believe in some of it, but I'm not gonna go along with the homosexual agenda, which are the people who are behind that stuff, because that's just a way for them to sneak in the whole gay agenda. See, I saw the truth behind that shit. Everything was designed to make it okay for homosexuals to feel good about themselves. Because in my day, homosexuals, they hated it. The way society thought of them, the way we treated them. They used to have guys that did gay bashing. I actually was thinking of becoming one. But I could never actually really hurt anyone. But I had fantasies about it, joining a gay bashing group. And I just couldn't stand the fact that a dude would act like a female. It's just great. It was like nails on a chalkboard. I didn't like being around them. I don't want to be around them. So My generation was all about, holding them down. And then when I was in high school, they figured out how to get it out of the medical books. They didn't do it the right way. They did it underhandedly because we thought it was a mental illness, or my parents' generation thought it was still a mental illness. I'm still in high school when this happened, so I wasn't an adult yet. As I became an adult, they started the whole coming out of the closet movement in the early 80s because they want acceptance. Now they've gone overboard with power. They become power hungry. They feel they have the right to approach us straight now. In my time, they would have never done some shit like that. The shit they do now where they eyeball you, they would have never done that. I got mad at some fags when I was out with my boy Craig at a restaurant, sitting next to us, eyeballing us. So I started some shit. What the fuck you guys looking at, man? And Craig said afterwards, they were, even though he was on that side, the fence, I think that's probably they were looking at us because they saw him, they saw me. They thought, oh, he must be one of those masculine ones on the down low. No, motherfucker. I tried to make my boy straight and it failed. But whatever. I take offense to what they do, and I don't mind saying something. And I will tell them I'm not signing up for no program where I end up like a toothpick dying because some motherfucker's trying to stick his dick in my ass. I have no problem telling gays that. And speaking of gays, her son is coming today, so. But I've actually through him, I actually learned more tolerance. Because her son, Jovina's son, he tried to be straight because he didn't want the stigma. He tried dating girls and all that, and that's why now I do believe that some guys are born that way. And of course, my buddy Neil, who's a super geek, told me they found the gene. Prove him wrong though, but they found the gene that can turn males into homosexuals. But when he told me this about 5 years ago, they hadn't found it on women yet. So if it's a genetic thing that's turned on by environment, I can see that. But there's nothing in his environment. Her brother talked about a gay man that tried to, hit on him when he was young because her brother was a model. So he obviously was like one of those really good-looking kids that everybody put on a pedestal, and he played football and shit and soccer. He ran track. What did he run?
I'm not sure.
I know he ran track.
Yeah. No, yeah, he did a lot of everything. A little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything.
I think his favorite was soccer, though.
Drugs destroyed his body. When I first moved in here, I couldn't stand his ass. He was actually high. He was outside in his Speedos watering the lawn. He had in his underwear, Speedos, watering the grass. High as a kite, I guess. But he had body outrageous. He had the face. He didn't even work out. I couldn't stand that motherfucker. And then over the years, his age and drugs and shit.
He worked out, but not a lot.
He worked out a little bit?
A little bit, yeah, when he got a chance.
Some people got a natural. Your parents gave you guys good genetics. Like Jovina's got a lot of fucking huge muscles in her thighs, shit like that, and natural muscularity. Your mom has it. Her father has it.
Yeah,
and the two of them.
Brother Michael's calves.
Yeah, her little brother Michael's like a little 5'4" powerhouse. Yeah, like a spark, like a fire plug. Huge calves. Doesn't work out. Muscles already there. Okay, let's see. And the rise of transgender people. They've always been around. When the gay movement started, they wanted their time in the sun too. Night Shroud. And the internet brings out the weird people. Yeah. Then we got the weirdos. I saw his name. The guy did a show on that went through San Diego, shot into a convenience store. Unfortunately, he killed some people. What was that fucker's name? See, that's he thought he was going to go out in a blaze of glory. We don't remember his name to this day. The half Asian guy. Fuck. I don't even remember. It's on the tip of my tongue. Weirdos. Just wanted blondes. Obsessed on blondes. Dan Kelly, good advice. I'm not against them. It's just like, keep that shit in the bed. Yeah, keep it in your own house. That's my objection. That's my objection. Stop putting the shit in my TV shows. I mean, I was watching Defiance. I like that show. They made one of the aliens homosexual because they had to have some of it in there. They turned the if you guys remember the show, the prostitute, the mayor's sister, sleeping with an alien bitch, the albinos. They gotta put that shit in every fucking show. Now, by the way, they have new standards now. Every TV show, every movie has to have an element of it in there. If they're 5% of the population, they don't need their own element in every goddamn movie. But that's how much power they have in Hollywood. They went out there and got the jobs to make sure they have the power. They became the judges, the Congress people. That's why you find out that all this gay shit going on with congressmen. They went out there and got the power, as they set out to do in the 80s. They deliberately went after these positions so they would have the fucking power. Do your own research. Prove me wrong. They became the police department also. They're on the police department. How many times have you guys seen a dyke? A skizzy dyke as a cop, hating dudes, hating men. Supreme, what happened in Vegas? I'm so tempted to ban you right now. Wow. Can you believe what he just asked me? Well, Eric, when you become an adult, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Thank you for deleting that. First time I went to Vegas, I met a married chick. Thanks for the Elliot Rodger. Yeah, Elliot Rodger. That's the only one that I fucked. Was that one. That's the story of me standing behind the curtain with a hard on and my big ass size 14 feet coming out from the curtain while her sister was at the door. And I continued to fuck her. She flew me down to Los Angeles, put me up at the airport. She put cash in my bank. In one video, I'm in the sweater, the South Pole sweater. I had a matching sweatsuit and sweater. She paid for it. She sent me cash because her husband was rich. Then say you're talking about the guy trying to kill you. He wasn't in Vegas. He lived in Los Angeles. That's the husband of the woman I just talked about. Okay? I actually talked to the dude. He got my phone number. He was involved in a cell company. He got my phone number and called me. Asked me if I was fucking his wife. Said, no, we're just friends. I lied to him. He found out the truth later on. So he knew where I lived. So for a while there, I was running strapped. A lot of good a gun's gonna do you when you're at a club and your guns in your glove box though. All they do is walk. Well, they can't get it. They don't search you, by the way. They weren't searching at the club I was going to, or the clubs I was going to. They didn't search me because some of the clubs I got in for free. It wasn't that kind of party. I didn't go to black ghetto clubs. We gotta search you for knives and check the bitch's purse for guns and shit. Antonio In Ask Men magazine, older men say in the article it's immature for younger men to share because girls shouldn't care. Is this true? Oh, shave. It's immature for younger men to shave? Okay, that's a new Caucasian thing going around, to have the beard. That was started by that one rich guy. He's the first person that popularized the beard. Now it's like a new thing. Okay? I disagree with it. Let's say two white men are competing for a job, high-paying job. One has got a beard, the other is clean-shaven. Who do you think they're going to hire? Okay? They both have equal education. Beards make people feel uncomfortable in dominant society, in your society. They prefer to have a clean-shaven person over a guy with a beard. Also, guys with weak chins often will hide behind a beard. So, again, Ask Magazine is a Caucasian magazine also for the dominant society people. So, I disagree with that. By the way, a lot of girls don't like beards. Fur faces. Of course, you're going to hear it from their male-centeredness, because that's the way, European society is. The bitch don't mean shit, and her opinion don't matter shit. Just suck my dick, bitch. Okay? But it actually does matter what women think. Some women like it. Some women think it's gross. And if you give it to, most dudes out there, they have bushy beards. They don't keep it clean and neat. Now, goatees are a different thing. Goatees give you more of a bad boy look. Okay? Nitreld, like Hillary Clinton, I don't like, but I know she is the more qualified person, to run your country. Yes, she is. I don't like her either. And I'm not just being a Negro peon. I just don't like Hillary. And I don't pay attention to the stuff that come out about her. I saw her she was rude to some Black Lives Matter people, even though they started it. But I watch how she responded to them. She showed off for the white people that were there. And I've also understand that she's not down for blacks. She doesn't do anything for us. So, but neither is the other motherfucker. If you're black, we have virtually no one to pick. I guess we pick the lesser of two evils, which would be Hillary. Because we know if Trump wins, look how emboldened the racists are already. They're already running blacks down the streets. I talked about the young black boy earlier. They're shooting us. One dude shot a black dude from his door. That's because of Trump. Okay? Unfortunately, Trump looks good now because we had a black president two years or 2 terms. So the white males are irritated. And of course, the Republicans put all that bad shit out about Obama. They let him get anything through. He could barely do anything, to be honest with you. I'm not supporting Obama, but he could barely do anything because white people blocked him every step. He talked about it. Everything he did, they blocked him. They tried to stop him. Then they talk about the Obama plan. I'm benefiting from the Obama plan. That was well needed because my insurance had went to $400 and something a month through Blue Cross. Anthem Blue Cross, yeah. His plan came in hella good. Jovina is on it. Just over $200 a month? Yeah. So that's like, half. Still expensive, but
the insurance companies won't let it go any less than that. They're already pissed off about it.
Because the money that you make, the amount of money you make.
Yeah, it's based on
And it should be based on your income. The rich should pay more and the poor should pay less just to stay healthy. Derek, the vote doesn't matter. They have it that Hillary's going to win. I know. Trump will never get the popular vote because he's not the most popular one. Bush beat Gore. Yeah, but Bush had some tricky votes. going on with his cousin, his brother. You know, remember the Florida votes?
Florida.
His brother was the governor.
Ratchet ass Florida.
Yeah, ratchet ass, racist ass Florida. Texas, Florida. I would never live in your states. Ever. I won't even drive through. Fuck that shit.
Speed through.
No. State police. State police are known to make blacks disappear. At least back in when I was a kid. It's too bad it's like that in this country. If you're white, you don't hear about the shit. They keep the shit from you. They want you to think everything's perfect. That there is no racism anymore. And you're probably tired of hearing me talk about it. Because it gets irritating. Then the finger points back at you and you don't feel good. Try being related to one of the people who get shot by the police. If you want to feel bad. Get real bad feelings though. A couple of years ago you talked about helping businessmen with dating in Hollywood or something. Yeah, that's what that show was about. Not in Hollywood though. I don't know how you got that fuck up. It was a show that was going to be in Hollywood. Derek, I thought facial hair brought out masculinity. Here's something that you don't look at. The gays are wearing beards now. Was that done for masculinity? The gays are wearing army buzz cuts and having beards. I actually resented the homosexuals back when, after 9/11, because being a soldier became popular again. And they start showing up with soldier haircuts. Not even the army. And they were fags. Dudes that popped each other's ass. Feminized fucks. You know what I'm talking about, fags. They walk and you can smell the smell of shit coming in when they come in the room. Or they sat squirming their seats. Their ass was popped that morning, and it's all loose, and the shit smells coming out and stained their drawers. They were doing the fucking buzz cuts. Now that I resented. I resent they put the shit in their TV shows and that one. Those are my two biggest pet peeves. Is their agenda. But trying to make yourself look more masculine and butch yourselves up. Just be what you are. And don't pretend to be femmes. Because that's another thing they like to do. It's the punk ones want to be all femme. It's kind of hard to tell between the punks, the super punks, and the regular punks. Super punks that get fucked in the ass, they try to act all feminine so they let you know that in their culture it's like a bottom and a top. The top is the one that is on top doing the fucking. And the bottom is the one that gets his ass fucked. Her son is a bottom. He acts very feminine. I just saw if someone move outside, he might even be here. Yeah, it's unfortunate. I don't like talking about it with her, but yeah. So, and I actually said to him driving, I said, my friend Craig said that's, when gays act like this, it's really just an affectation they take on. He didn't argue with me. He's never argued with me about anything. Let's see, my uncle told me about how racist Florida is. Yeah. Fuck. Don't go down there. You're down there, back there. Don't go down there. And there are blacks that live there. They've lived there the whole time. I just don't want to move into an area, have to get used to some of that shit. I'm out in Sunnyside, California, land of the steers, or land of the queers, and what was that old saying? Weirdos and queers, or something like that. A lot of weirdos out here, a lot of queers out here. San Francisco's right down the road. Sacramento ain't far behind them. Hey. The racism is here, but it's not as overt. I still get, when I go to small towns, god damn, I hate that shit. We went to a restaurant. Old white woman. Have them old white faces, them old faces, them long chins. You know, white guys, you know what I'm talking about too, your grandmas. So I went back to her until she looked away. I get tired of that shit. She said something to her husband. He looked. I look at him. I'm at the point where my ex-wife was a long time ago where I should have got. So I'm not going to put up that shit anymore. You act stupid, I'm going to act stupid back to you. You ain't ever seen a black man with a white woman? Oh, you don't like that. With octoroon? Fuck it. No, it's not my fault you're stupid. Derek, I'm not tired of you talking about racism. I get tired of talking about it. I talk about it every day. People will say we are pulling the race card. Oh, you must be black, Derek. With Irish name? Okay. They say white people privilege is a conspiracy theory. Really? That must be a racist type of... Every white person watching me knows that privilege... They know about white privilege. If you're one of those that believe it's a conspiracy, let me know. Remember when I said I was on vacation and I talked... I don't care what race they are. I talk to old white folks all the time that are friendly. I'm sitting there waiting for Jovina. You know, I didn't want to go in the store. It was a foo-foo store, so I'm sitting outside and I met a guy that was married to the Salvadorian with the green eyes. And I talked to him. He talked about how he's attorney. He represented her in their divorce, and then later on married her. But he smuggled some illegal Mexicans in. And he said because he was white, that's how he was able to drive right across the border. They would search anyone that looked like they were Latino. But they were in the trunk or someplace in the car, and he drove through. He said, because I'm white, I got through. And he's the old fucker. White privilege does exist. Everyone knows that. So I don't know who you're talking to about some kind of conspiracy. When you're the dominant society, what is not supposed to exist? How would you be the dominant society if it didn't exist? How would there be inequality? How would the blacks be able to be held down if you didn't have that? I guess that these people don't think consciously or logically there, Derek. You had a Irish ancestor, huh? Fathers come home, Eric, fathers come home fucked up, and their children have to deal with it. They treat vets like shit. Why join? He's talking about the military. Why is the military glorified before people never like to talk about it? Well, I'm not going to talk about it because I've never served. My father did, but I never did because I don't like taking orders from any race of male. I do respect people that are in the military because they put their lives on the line and all that. I do know that, you know, the Vietnam War was some bullshit about, not about the war itself, but, you know, how they were getting blacks in there. And the rich whites didn't have to go, so the poor whites went like us. But it's not a subject I can really talk about, man. Derek Kelly, I had to grow up around white my whole life. I was the only black person in my grade from 1st to 8th grade. Ah, okay. So you got a double dose of that racist stuff. Kiara, I heard down in Mississippi it has changed for the better. Cool. I have never in my life been there yet. You should go and find out or talk to someone who lives there before you go down there. High school didn't have many blacks either. College was a culture shock. Where did you grow up, Derek? Derek, yeah, I heard people say that it's really racist in PA, Pennsylvania. Glad I don't live there anymore. It's racist in small towns. It's racist in my town. I told you I was called the nigger by white guys in speeding trucks. Speeding trucks. I said always speeding trucks. I don't remember a slow moving car. Or the woman I'm with, nigger lover. Because that one chick I was with, she was top 10 material, but and they saw that, and they saw her with my black ass, and we need to see the reverse side of that when we see, a fine ass sister with a white dude. Let's say it's with an ugly white guy, and she's a fine sister. To understand how they feel, but no reason doesn't justify their actions, but I can understand how they feel, and I encouraged it. The more you hate, the better I felt. The more I'm going to keep dating. Because it made me feel good to know that you were hating on me. Because I got your fine goods. That's the way I thought back then. Antonio, are men supposed to shave their pubes or just for women? It's considered kosher, Jewish word, to manscape a little bit, clean up down there, and don't shave it bald like a little boy. But chicks go down there, they come back with hair in their teeth, they kiss you, one of your hairs get in your mouth. You're doing it for yourself. Just trim down the long bushy shit, in case she happens to go down on you. Nothing feminine. Just take a pair of scissors, clump, 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 clump. You're good to go. You ain't got to get your razor out or anything. Don't shave a little heart on there, some gay shit, nah. She really won't want to fuck you then. Kara, I'm extremely close to PA, so in the small towns, you get that redneck vibe. In the big cities, you're okay. Let's change the subject so that white folks can feel like they feel welcome. That's one of the problems with one of my hangouts is when it came all black dudes. White guys are afraid to come up in there. I don't know why, but there was some fear there. I have a family in Mississippi. I see white people down there, and it's different. It's always going to be different, though, in those old southern towns. But I talked to someone, I don't know if she's from Mississippi. It might have been Mississippi because I was thinking of the one from past, the most racist one. We had that sheriff dude, that old cracker guy with like a chewed gum, chewing tobacco. Y'all niggers, that dude. You guys are too young to remember that dude. He was the sheriff, and she was raised down there, and as she was saying it, blacks had their side, whites had theirs. You stay on your side. As you stay on your side, everything was cool. That's not my thing, my way, because you're going to tell me where to go. But I guess they have their own way of doing things in the South. And it doesn't work in the North, because the North is a melting pot. Although they do have white communities and black communities. Sacramento, a white community, black community, and then a mixed community. Mixed community was like lower middle class and down to poor white trash. At the edges of it. Edges of it when it's the black community. I'm in the lower middle class area right now. So Mexicans, right next to me is Chinese Grow House. They put the fence up. We know what they're doing over there. We don't smell a damn thing, but next to them, different families down the streets. Around the corner, that's where the ghetto shit is. Around the corner, down the road. It's ghetto fabulous down there. I'm sleeping back in my truck. I like sleeping back in my truck. I throw out a mat down there and I just sleep. Middle night, last time I did it, I haven't done it since. A brother had jumped over her brother's truck that was parked in the driveway. Because Joe, I think her car was in the shop or something. Anyway, in the middle of the night. And somebody was looking for him. A slow moving bunch of brothers in the car. drove around the corner very slowly. And I'm peeking up, looking at him like an idiot. Wasn't thinking, looked at the car moving. They're going to blow my head off because they're after his ass to kill his ass. I see, helicopters at least once a week going through the neighborhood looking for somebody. It's at the corner, the house, the well-manicured older white guy. So across the street, the house I talked about where my cat disappears to, old white guy, trash yard. But the Mexican guy that was ex-drug dealer, he built a metal fence around there for him. He's a contractor. That's how he's raising money for his project shit. Downways, Mexican, white, Mexican. On my street, I'm the only black person that's actually on this side of the street. But you go outside, the store, none but blacks up in there. My own race. But it's the lower end of my race. Around the corner from the store, you guys have those spots where blacks are there all damn day? Next to like a bus station where you can sit down. It's in the shade around the building. This grassy knoll. They're all fucking day. And then there's around the corner in the same parking lot, there's a McDonald's there. And behind the McDonald's, there's like some kind of pickup spot where you can put your shit. They're over there all damn day. So I live in the black part of town. Pretty much. It's called the South area. I don't know about in your town, but isn't it mostly blacks in the South area, whatever town you're in? Whites in the North?
Yeah, what the...
I don't know. I think some leftover shit from slavery days, because the South was where all the blacks were, the slaves, they got to put us in the South. And other minorities like the Portuguese, the Vietnamese.
So true.
Yeah. There's very few Portuguese in the rich white neighborhoods. I've never heard of any. Have you? But you guys mostly farmers. You're out there and doing your and the
in the better areas.
Yeah, they're in the nice areas, but they're not in the rich, all white areas.
Middle class.
Middle class, yeah. If they knew the truth, they never would have classified you guys as white. That's the joke on what on.
Well, they don't. A lot of us don't consider ourselves white.
I know.
Know that.
Yeah, I know. You guys don't consider yourself white. My friend Craig got mad at Jovina because she was saying, "I'm not white," because she has fair skin like Obama. She was darker when I met her. He hadn't seen her father, but her father has got a lot of white in him too, and a percentage of African. That's how they come. In the Portuguese community, you see the ones that look like they're black and the ones that look like they're white. So that's what I'm saying. When the census came out and looked at the Portuguese, that's what they do, because that's why I do it here. They threw the white ones in front and hid in the back. Put the lid on. Put the lid on. They're hiding in the trash cans. Put the lid on. We don't want them to see us. Go to Europe, they call themselves, Portuguese over there. They don't do that whole white classification thing. I'm going to be a personal trainer, Eric says, and enter carpentry or plumbers union. Dreaming again, huh? I'm still not hungry, by the way.
This is for me. I'm hungry.
Oh. Excuse me.
As soon as Stephen gets here or calls him to get here.
Well, before you leave, you'll have to throw me down some shit. Mm-hmm. I'll eat it then. That's the problem. I don't get hungry anymore.
But you have to take your pills. You already know that. And then you start getting lightheaded, which is a problem.
Yeah. My hunger mechanism shut off. So I did it in order to adapt to the new diet. You jelly, Supreme. My father was a long-haul truck driver. I remember he was telling me one of his good friends and coworkers were being forced to eat in the back like it was still the 1950s. My father made sure that shit didn't happen and actually ate with me. And actually ate with my father. Me and your father went back and ate with him. Good. My father would be in his mid-70s now, but he passed for some years now. Yeah. Sorry to hear that. Supreme, one of my best friends said Portuguese are Caucasian. I'm like, oh, I thought they were considered Hispanic. No, they actually take offense to that. Until he corrected me, he was Portuguese himself. That's why he's called him. He's one of the ones that wants to be white. If you actually see some of the people, no. But they have admix in them because of the Moors. And secondly, due to slavery, some of the slave places were in Spain and Portugal. And also they were, shippers, sailors. A lot of blacks don't realize they got Portuguese blood in them because those Portuguese sailors were raping just like everyone else. It wasn't just the English. Down there was the Portuguese. In Spain, everybody's going down there. It was like a fucking free-for-all. But by official classification, they are considered to be a white by their standards. At one time, Mexicans were considered to be white. All you have to do is have straight hair. That's it. If you have hair like a European, then you could break the classification thing. Jovina's brother, the one that's a closet racist, I know that motherfucker's a racist. Juan, John, whatever you want to call it. In Spanish would be Juan. He hangs out with rednecks, loves Trump. Actually, he wanted the other guy, that independent dude, but he's got brown skin. And I like fucking with him. Every time I see him, I always make a dig at him. There was a white Mexican, there was a lighter skinned Mexican, that Jovina knows.
Everybody's going to show up here about 3:30.
Okay. When the bullshit started in Arizona, where they were going to do that whole stop, ask for your passport or shit or whatever, your ID. I was joking. Hey, what's interesting is he can get away, but you can't, John. They'll stop you every goddamn time. You don't like that shit.
Who?
John.
Oh, my brother?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He wants to be a white boy. Or white guy.
He wants to be white so bad.
Yeah, he wants to be white so
He
bad.
doesn't look like it.
He doesn't look it, yeah. He was telling your dad, well, in some countries, you'd be considered white. Because their dad said, I'm not white. What am I, a mulatto?
He's never considered himself white, but...
No.
But he knows... you heard what he said to John. He says, yeah, sure, it's there you might be considered white, but here, you're not.
Yeah.
And he didn't want to argue with him because he knows that he's going to go fly off the handle.
Yeah, because that'll make him have lower self-esteem. When they come here, they want to fit in. And they want to fit in with the dominant society.
I think that's why my dad didn't like it here for the first few years. He had a really hard time.
You had a hard time?
Yeah. Well, language and everything.
Language and classification. They thought he was a Mexican, like Fido Bandito, dark brown Mexican. They treat him like one. The cops pulled him over one time. They followed him and pulled his ass over. Handcuffed him. What you look like? And then, of course, they don't know different. White folks are stupid. Sorry, white folks, you guys are stupid. You don't know the difference between a Portuguese and a Mexican. You guys think they eat tortillas because their neighbors, that had been their neighbors for a long time, thought they ate, tortillas and shit. And I know you need a tortilla right now, goddamn it. But white Americans are stupid. All Americans are stupid. Let me just put it like that. Take it back. All Americans are stupid. Supreme, I had no clue Mexicans were considered to be Caucasian. Good to know. At one time, they were classified as Caucasian. I don't know if they still are. They're classified as Hispanic now, but and they got separated. But you remember, there's a lot of. They're going to get their white status again, though, because there's a lot of really fair-skinned ones. And you've noticed they're pushing that in the TV shows. Selma Hayek, she's a Mexican. and she's a Mexican, and that's what she identifies as, even if she has 70% European or Spanish blood. So we have, those at the forefront, and in their culture, the lighter is better. And I'm sorry if you're a brown Mexican listening to me, but you know what the truth is. Someone who's a brown Mexican, come out and tell us about how bad that shit is. I learned about how bad it is in Mexico. Spain still rules, or the Spanish people still rule there. As I said, every country you go to, white is on top. Colored is on the bottom. You go to any South American country, really, the lighter ones are on top. Socially, they might elect a darker ruler, but hey, look who's the dominant population. Indios didn't rise up. Supreme, whoa, I know the difference, but I'm not an idiot saying, I'm not calling you an idiot, you jelly, you should know better than that, man. Right, do you think blacks are likely to be harassed in certain states more than others? Yes, I do. Yes, I surely do. Because remember, racist white people don't want to be around blacks, so they're gonna try to run you out of their town. They want to they do want to be around people who only look like them. And you know what our race has been portrayed to be about. We move neighborhoods. We don't mow our lawns. We put cars on the yard, even though that's mostly white guys do that. They have the ones that race cars. They always have engines in the front yard and shit like that. But they put that on us, and there are blacks that do that. There's one around the corner from me that bought the RV that I should have picked up, that I kicked myself to this day. For $700, I could have had a Class A RV, and they drove the fuck out of that motherfucker. But anyway, they race cars. They got old crotchety looking white woman staying with them, and they work on engines and shit like that. But they think that we don't take care of the property. And my dad was like that. Never wanted to mow the lawn. We had to hire someone, or we did it. Believe it or not. And he was a biracial one. Triracial, actually. Triracial. New term, triracial. No big deal. So they rather be around people. They think we rape and we rob because their masters programmed them for that, to believe that. If you're a white guy right now and that's what you have believed, so you came to my channel, that's because you were programmed to believe that, taught to believe that. That's why you see little kids in school using the N-word, because they learn it from their parents. And those parents learn it from their parents. And those parents learn from their parents. When you learn to see the truth and you learn understanding, that little kid was taught that way. Don't blame the child. Blame the parents. Derek, what do you think is the best way to build a lot of testosterone other than working out? Why do you guys say that? You mentioned the one way that I talk about to build it, and then say, what is the other? To build testosterone. That's the way. I had a kidney transplant, so working out isn't exactly the best option. I work out, but not as much as others. Just do what you can, man. Just do what you can. I don't believe in taking testosterone because that's fake. Supreme, I guess I've been lucky. I haven't been programmed like the sheep since all these examples of racism. Eric, it shuts down. I'm not sure what he's talking about. Oh, broccoli. One thing that I'm allergic to. One food I'm allergic to. No wonder I have moobs now. Supreme, Ujelli is asking, Supreme, you were giving in the past few minutes. I've been lucky I haven't been programmed to the examples we've been given the last few minutes. Every now and then you run into a decent Caucasian person that came from a good family, like my boy Craig. His parents never, as I said before, but there's new people here, asked me about, black. That's one thing white folks do is they come up, you guys notice, I heard that black people, they always ask something about being black, to remind you that you're black. His parents never reminded me that I was black. And I went to the house I went to his uncle's house for Thanksgiving dinner, and I went to his parents' house for Christmas Eve dinner. Or was it Christmas Eve or Christmas night?
For where?
Craig's parents. Was it?
Oh, it was Christmas. Oh, it was Christmas Day.
Christmas Day dinner. So on Christmas Day, instead of going to my own family, I was going to their family. Because I see my family during the day, and I went to their parents' house at nighttime for a long time. His sister, his brothers, or his brother never brought it up. Every now and then you run into those unique families. And his father was a role model of mine. He was a millionaire. He retired a millionaire. He was a dentist. He gave his sons all one book, and I think it was the Magic of Believing. I think that's the book he gave them when they graduated college, because that's the book that he used to acquire his wealth and prestige. He knew everybody. And I learned to actually become even more friendlier from him. Like every girl I brought up there, he would chat him up. Oh. And I would tell you, your dad's a natural Mac, man. Yeah, Jovina, especially dentist, and she works in the dentist's office, yeah. I couldn't talk to my own female because his dad was macking on her. But
no, we just had common ground.
I spoke at his funeral. Okay, so that's one example. I have no hatred towards decent white folks. I do hate racists, though. Supreme, man, that's so fucking ignorant to go up to whatever race, speak ignorance the way you're phrasing that just now. Yeah. It was actually, from one of my clients until she finally got the hint and stopped. She had to learn how it made me feel. I don't like being reminded I'm black. I already know I'm black every day I wake up. I'm not going to ask you, about cannibalism. I heard that white people were cannibals in Europe, which is true, but let's see. Kelly, my boss is childish. Sorry to hear that. And I've got some work to do. Fellas, I've been on here for 2 hours. Antonio. Does having a car make you less manly? Having a cat make you less manly? It was a dog. Best, please clarify. Now, Greeks would say that there's no problem with it. When I was growing up, all the guys that were strange, if not homosexuals, no offense to my brother Grease, I have cats now too, but I'm talking about single dudes that didn't have women, they usually had a cat. Nowadays, don't matter. I see homosexuals walking dogs instead of cats now. Cats are feminine, they're felines, and guys that want to touch a feminine because they weren't getting pussy, they had cats when I was younger. Get what you want. Cats are easy to maintain. Dogs need a lot of attention. You can't go away for a weekend and just leave food and water out for your cat. Or even just leave it outside your door. Hell, fat bastard, every time I open the door, he's there begging for some more chicken.
It's your fault.
Chicken! And the kitten that I raised, a little fucker actually broke my little heart. Happy ass don't ever come home unless they get a meal. Then he wants to go right back on the door. Don't want to spend no time with me. Cats are different, man. Cats are like a bitch. They are felines. If you like, bitch behavior, that's what I think. Get what you want, though. Don't do it just to appear manly. But don't tell a girl you got a cat also, because girls will think of that, by the way. They'll naturally think of that. Unless you have uber masculine. That's how Grease gets away with it, because he's very masculine. And there's no doubt that when girls meet him. Eric, that kid didn't put feelings in you? You sure in the fuck did. I raised him. I developed all kind of feelings for him. As I would any animal. I used to have feelings for my white mice, the ones I let live. I hung one because I caught it eating one of his children, and so we had a trial, and I hung him.
Oh my God.
It didn't kill him. His neck was too big. I didn't know about snapping the neck, so I smashed him.
Evil.
But I loved my white mice. Just they had to be punished. See where I learned that from? Mommy Dearest.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah, I was on my way to be I'd probably be a serial killer if I kept on with that shit. My dad used to do shit like that. He would kill a cat because he wanted to become a preacher and have a funeral for it because he wanted to practice preaching.
Preachers go around killing things.
Well, they preside at funerals though. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I have no idea if my dad didn't like cats or did like cats. I think like me, he liked all animals, but he was a kid at the time. His father gave him a .22 rifle that he used to chase him away with.
Oh, your mother loves cats.
My mom, she's deathly afraid of cats. I mean, deathly afraid. Take your worst phobia and amplify it and put it into an old black woman. As far as cats, I took the kid into her house. She wouldn't come to the door. She wouldn't let me in. Get that cat out of here. And I can see cats do look evil. If you really look at their faces. Like I'll sit and see that kitten looking at me. He's got an evil look on his face.
Not Sylvester. Sylvester has a sweet look on his face.
He's done that evil look before though, where they lower the eyes and you wonder what they're thinking.
He's got a cute little
There's something weird about cats that I think is like they're highly and more intelligent than we think. And they're sitting there just watching us.
Sure they are. They get what they want from us and then they're on
Yeah.
their way.
There have been a couple of things that these cats have done that I know they've got to have higher intelligence than we think. That can be kind of scary. I would love to either own a German Shepherd or a Beagle.
Huh?
German Shepherd or a Beagle, huh? KR says, yeah, Beagle. That's what Snoopy was.
Yeah.
It was a Beagle.
Oh,
yeah.
That's right. Yes.
Cartoon Beagle. Eric. And when I was peeing on a beach, a water snake jumped and its mouth got stuck on my finger. I smacked it off and dumbass me went chasing me. So the snake chased after you, huh? I was living in Japan while at that Black Revolution stuff was going on in the U.S. Aries is in here. I didn't know about the Black Revolution stuff in Japan, going on, living in Japan. I was a kid. They don't tell you that stuff. I was just talking to Jovina. We were watching that TV show, 11/23/60. And, I was telling her how it was when I was in the States. We couldn't stop in certain places. We'd piss in Coke bottles. I remember the blacks only or the white only signs traveling across the country. And then in Japan, there was none of that because we were on base. And on base, they didn't play that shit. Your white mice. Haha. Kelly, I had beagles. Nice dogs. How can you be afraid of cats? I don't know. My mom's superstitious. They think black cats are evil. And all cats in general are evil. Because the way they walk, I think, on some level, black folks sense something from cats that's just not normal. And cats are not normal. They are abnormal in their behavior. Pay attention to them. If a girl has a cat, Pay attention to that motherfucker. Look at the way that motherfucker eyeballs you. He's eyeing you up.
Like
If I was bigger than you, motherfucker, you'd be my play toy. They have no love of humans. Like a female. Got no love for this motherfucker. But he feeds me. How do you like those big huntsman spiders in Japan? Freaky stuff. I've never seen a huge spider. That would have freaked me out. Because the second day I was there, when we flew over the second time, I got bit by a spider. I had to go to the hospital. And then I saw we had this thing where we ran on all the houses had these concrete walls around them. And we used to have races run on the walls. That's why I developed my balance. Because, you know, you're racing on the wall as fast as you can. I ran across, I thought it was a play spider. That thing was like that big. It was a tarantula. And after I got over it, I looked back, the thing moved. I screamed like a little girl. One of the older kids got aboard and smashed it. But we found a frog a toad that fucking big under a house on base. Aries, no, still playing. He's talking to someone else. I really got to go, fellas, and get some work done. I've had incredible good results in the fitness area, but I'm not going to say anything else about it. You're very fortunate your mom has the kind of money to take you around the world there, Eric. He said he woke up in Aruba with a spider on top of him. You're very fortunate. Sorry she's feminized you. Made you afraid of pussy, but you're still very fortunate. Eric's mom is a black attorney, and he's going to have the house to himself for 2 months. So hopefully we can help him get laid. I think he's 18, but in high school, which I think he's younger, truth be known, because you don't come from a mother like that and be 18 and still in high school. Usually those kind of mothers push their kids and they're like 16. Graduating. So what's your true age, Eric? His mom said she'll hold my hand till I'm 30. Hey, she loves her son. I like. Coming from my mother, and I just get so happy when she shows 1 ounce of love towards me. I would love a mother like that. I'd be a better man. You know, I wouldn't have had the issues that I had. I probably wouldn't become the player I became also. Because most top players, they don't get along with their moms. There's no close relationship with most top players, AK and or pimps and max. Guys who are in the real game, not this nerd shit, PUA stuff, but the guys who are in the actual real game out there. You know, playing women starts with playing women. Okay, they got more than one female on their team. But you haven't noticed how it's all about having a team? A Mac has a team, a pimp has a team. Players have a team. Anything that talks about not having a team, it is not part of the game. Look at it from the original perspective of the game. The first proponent built a team of followers, males. When the first chief got elected, he talked himself into becoming leader of the family or head of the tribe. That's game. Had a team. Okay? Someone mentioned Charles Manson. Charles Manson had a team. He didn't go out there hunting bitches every goddamn week like a damn nerd PUA dude. He had the support of a team. So his hunting was way different. And of course, as you know, he mind fucked his bitches. And men that were on his team. He mind fucked everybody. Eric, I'm waiting for your real age. By you avoiding it makes me realize I'm correct. KR, well, at least you're still young and you're not as old as one of all these YouTubers who are 30 plus and still a virgin. Thank God for that. Eric, I actually went off on my mom how she's feminizing me and shit. Escape quickly. We've been fighting a lot lately, and she doesn't like how I'm getting aggressive and not taking shit no more. Of course, she's not gonna like that because she always sees you as her baby, and she's gonna have to let you go and grow and become into a man. The more she pushes down on you and try to feminize you, the more you should be fighting it. Not to the point of being disrespectful, but explain to her, Mom, I'm becoming a man. That's what you have to explain to her. Mom, I'm becoming a man. You're going to have to let me go and become a man if you want to be successful in life. Use the success tip to get it through to her head. What is the book you would recommend for learning about Black history? Wow, there's so many. Let me just give you the authors. And videos you find on YouTube there, Eric. Well, first go to you're in the forum. Go look at all the videos I posted in the African history, now called Black Consciousness section. Okay? The authors are still the same. They haven't changed. A.J. Rogers had a good one, which I actually don't have, The Destruction of Black Civilization. It'll tell you from the beginning how our civilization got destroyed. A Supreme, Alfonso said, I'm back from work. Last night I went out by myself again and dressed well and pulled. Yeah, I think I was just reading that in today's show, Alfonso. I was stuttering like crazy. That's why you stutter, by the way, because of your mom. What's going on inside you is the man is trying to grow, okay? And she's butting up against it. And the friction there fucks up your mind. Now you come out stuttering. I bet you if you solve that problem, it'll allow you a chance to just relax as you speak and not be nervous. Your fear of women is coming from her. She's going to try and keep your ass a virgin. Always be her little image of that little baby she took care of. And you're the only child. So I understand.
Oh, he's not a child.
Yeah, it sucks. But it's actually a beautiful position to be in. Because she'll buy him his first house. She'll put him through college. She'll buy him his first house. Oh, if only I had that to myself.
That's all good.
I always wanted to go away to college, fellas. But I got into a situation where she tricked me into getting pregnant. And stupid me, I got married. Stopped going to college. Don't let that happen to you. Nice guy. Derek Kelly, I would buy that for my friends. Some of the things he tells me is so girly. He's talking to a girl, but he tells me things he could simply tell her. It's probably from all that damn nerdy anime. Oh man, that shit will fuck you up. All right, fellas, I gotta go. It's Saturday. I've got work to do because I have a new business to grow. And I'm not growing it by talking to you guys. I'm losing money. So it's time for me to roll out. You guys have a good weekend. I wasn't going to do a show today. I just wanted to get something answered. It was a question. I forgot what it was. But anyway, I enjoyed it. It's been real. Have a good day.